Hey, it's Skark11 with another of my Animal Crossing Xenoblade builds. I've shown this one before in different seasons, but now I can finally do a default version with everything in green. This is Maktha Wildwood from Xenoblade 3, one of my favorite regions in the series. I just love the overgrown post-apocalyptic city aesthetic of it. It's such a unique and cool combo. So unlike some of the other Xenoblade builds that I've done, this one isn't based off of a specific spot, but more so based off of the whole region in general. So I took a few things from different spots and just kind of threw them all together, and keeping the overall aesthetic of it rather than trying to replicate any specific area. One of the spots that I took for ideas is the big skyscraper on the edge of Great Coat Falls. That's this thing over at the edge here. And then these Torii gates, I use these to try to be these highway things. I'm not really sure what they would be called. These things, whatever they are. So like I do for my city core parts of my island, I used wide display cases to look like the skyscrapers. In this case, though, I turned the lights off so that it would look more like abandoned buildings. A general overview of the area. Unfortunately, with Animal Crossing's height limitations, there was no way to make it look as expansive as the region did in-game. So then this spot over here, this is based off of the lead up to Coat Headwater, the secret area. And I forget the name of this item, but I use this to look like foliage growing out of the sides of the building. So the positioning for this one's a bit off. The building should be on the right side and not the left side, but that kind of came out of the limitations of putting all the stuff together in general, since this wouldn't be right next to where the big skyscraper on the outside of, on the edge of Coat Falls would be, so I had to just kind of combine those together. And then Coat Headwaters. So I tried to make it look like blue grass up here to fit for Coat Headwater, and then I used mush lamps and that coconut lamp to try and look like the big glowing trees, and also some large star fragments on the ground to look like the trees hanging over. Unfortunately, there's no items that really hang over while glowing like that, so this was the best I could do with the items that were available while keeping it glowing in blue. And then the waterfalls down there to represent Coat Falls. So I also positioned it with some of the display cases right next to trees so that it looks like the trees are growing out of the buildings. And then down here is the sparkling pool, where the scene with the Turkins happens. So I used a small display stand to represent the little piece of building that's just kind of there. One thing I wanted to include, but I didn't have the space for, was the big tree stump where Movable Gonzalez is. Just didn't have any place to actually fit the tree stump. I mean, I guess if I wanted to, I could remove that thing up there, the little, I forget what that item's called too, but like the shed kind of thing. It's not a shed, but you know what I mean. I could probably fit it there if I had the space for patterns for a big tree stump at least. But I do not have the space for that. And then this is not part of Maktha, not based on anything, just a general little bamboo trail that I made leading into the area. And then this comes out over into my residential district. So if you watched the end, then comment Blossom Dance down below to let me know. And if you want to see some of my other Animal Crossing builds of other Xenoblade locations or just general areas for my city core half of the island, then you can check out my Animal Crossing playlist that should be up on screen now. And see you next time!